Hello, my name is Molly Twomey, and I am delighted to be reading for the literary advent calendar for West Cork Literary Festival from my debut collection, which is called Raised Among Vultures, and it was published by the Gallery Press in May 2022. The first poem I'm going to read is called The Drop Off, and it's about being diagnosed with an eating disorder in 2015 and the journey I took in the car with my dad to the treatment centre where I was in residential care. The Drop Off. Everything's a blur. You don't play Talking Heads, Bob Dylan, talk about work or your iffy stomach. You read the road as if it's encrypted with what a father should say on a drive like this. Should I apologise for your missed appointments, unread emails? There is always someone who needs you more. Mostly, I'm sorry that I'm not as happy as you raised me to be. I want to ask the GPS the quickest route to end this silence. When we reach the centre, you pull up and go straight for the boot. This is what you know to do. To lift the heavy thing. Tell me to take your good umbrella. You drag my suitcase to the door where the nurse stands with a notepad and clutches your arm. I'll come back soon, you say. She smiles and says it's better if you don't. And then when I was in treatment, I would have been with a lot of other people who had eating disorders, and sometimes that wasn't very productive, and we mightn't have been the best company for each other. And also at the time, I became very obsessed with amusement parks, and I started making lists of all the amusement parks that I planned on visiting once I was finished with residential care. So this is called Risk. Risk. All I want is to be shot into the air by a starship, thrown far from waiting rooms, gurneys, and supervised toilet trips. A pill, punched from its dispenser. I get it, she says, interrupting my list of amusement parks I'll visit when I'm discharged. She drags her scarlet nail along her sternum, says I love the thrill that a belt might loosen, a spring could snap. She shows me how to hide supplements in a cactus pot, to raid the contraband cabinet when the nurse who falls asleep is on. Can you feel it, she asks, placing my palm on her chest, hers on mine. The bumper cars of our hearts stutter and jolt. So I suppose I did want this book to represent, my journey and my life, among other things. But I also wanted, I wanted it to represent it authentically. So I still do struggle today with eating disorder thoughts, and thoughts of relapse, and it's still difficult to manage, but I am in a much better place. So I wanted to be hopeful, but in an authentic way. So this is called All the Things I Want to Do. I wake at 6 to sprint laps of the marina so I can eat the rye toast you will grill for me later. You hear me tighten my ponytail, not the lace of my shorts. My muscles tensed, facing away from yours. You remind me of all the things I want to do. Parachute in Vancouver. Find the ring in a bar in Brack. You laugh, say even though you hate dried fruit. You plan a marathon of movies. Sister Act, The Rugrats, a Sunday drive to Lackine. You suggest that some morning we'll bake scones or soda bread. I reply that I want real pancakes, and my hand goes to my lips to stuff back the words. I never thought I would get to this stage. Sitting on the corner of your bed, unclipping my sports bra, slipping off my ankle weights. So, yeah, thanks for spending this time with me today. And thank you as well to the West Cork Literary Festival for this opportunity.